Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd spend a little bit of time today doing some weeding while I just talk on this video. Yeah, this is my little garden. I don't grow a whole lot of food. I have some sweet potatoes growing in here, some Bayou Bells, and some purple sweet potatoes. And I also have some herbs that I use and harvest. But yeah, I'm just going to pull some of these weeds around here. And basically, what I do is just a chop and drop method. So I just pull the weeds and I just lay them right down onto the ground of the garden bed to act as mulch. So I'm in Florida and it gets really hot and dry, and you just can't build up the mulch enough. The more mulch you have, it's really going to help protect the soil, keep it from drying out, keep the moisture around the plants. So, yeah, I really believe in just growing what you eat because gardening can become really intensive. It's one of those things that is when you're young, when I was in my 20s, I was very excited about gardening. I loved gardening. I still do love gardening, but in a little bit different way. So I used to have these big, beautiful garden beds. I was growing all kinds of food. I also grew a lot of sprouts. I did a lot of fermenting, and we ate a lot out of the garden. But as time has gone on, I'm older now, and my interest in this has, I wouldn't say that it's waned. I should just say that I know my limitations now. Although I like doing gardening as a solitary act, I sometimes miss companionship of having other people around. I've had friends helping me, but lately this year I've been working a lot by myself. And I just find that I don't know. It's just a little bit lonely. Even though I enjoy growing a lot of the plants that I would typically eat in the past, my diet has completely changed. So I don't eat a lot of fruit and vegetables anymore. I was primarily vegetarian for about 20 years, and that has completely changed. And I eat primarily a protein and fat forward diet with just some vegetables and fruit. So I do like to grow potatoes because I feel like they're a really great energy source. They store well. I can grow enough in this small patch to have some throughout the winter, and they're a really nice addition to some type of protein. I also have a background in permaculture and architectural design, and I love to just weave these things together. So I'm always mindful of resources. And, you get to a point in your life where you just want to cut out all the bullshit, you know? Here I am. I'm growing a lot more things that I can sell in my shop, things that I can actually harvest and sell, and some things that I can use. Being mindful of resources and including my own resources, my own energy. I was doing an event about a year ago, and I had a bunch of my plants that I have in my shop for sale. I had them at a booth, and they're all house plants. They're like tropical house plants, and they bring me a lot of joy growing them. And I try to be really mindful about my resources. Again, creating my own compost, using as little dirt as possible, recycling all my containers, because gardening is very intensive. If you think about the fertilizer use, the use of plastic, creating the soil, this all takes a lot of resources and energy. So, anyways, I had a guy come up to me and he was like, "Well, I don't want to buy anything because I only grow things that I'm going to eat." And I commend that because I've been there. I was that person. I used to be that person. Like, I'm not going to grow anything or waste any energy on anything that I can't eat. But the truth is, growing the houseplants that I grow, I get a lot of joy out of them, and I enjoy learning about them and selling them at the shop. So I'm okay with it. To each their own. I have some gorgeous lemongrass here, and it's growing next to, on the left-hand side, you can see some bee balm, and on the right is some mullein, and I have a little bit of passion flower growing around it. But I'm going to thin this lemongrass out right now, and I'm just going to gather up some bunches on the sides and cut that out. And I will take this in the house and dry it. And this is going to be chopped up and sold in my apothecary. This makes a really lovely, warming, sunshiny tea. Sunshiny, if that's a word. I recently discovered a new song called The Garden. Well, actually, it's not a new song. It's been around for quite a while. It's by Rush. I know not very many women actually like Rush, but I am a huge Rush fan. I have been for a very long time. They were the first band I ever saw when I was 15 years old, but I loved them before I even saw them in concert. I just fell in love with their lyrics. But I recently discovered the song The Garden because I've been listening to a lot of Rush songs because I'm actually going to go see them at Madison Square Garden later this year. Very excited about that. But The Garden is actually a really beautiful song. It's a metaphor for life. It's about teaching that the true measure of our existence is found in the love and respect that we earn and give. How beautiful is that? So, the physical garden that must be deliberately nurtured and protected over time. They're treasures that are harvested in the garden, and this is the love and respect that we build with others and ourselves. I usually like to keep the sound on so you can hear the birds, but my husband was weed whacking behind me, so I had to I had to turn that off. We'll turn it back on. But the wind is making a really nice sound with the lemongrass. Yes, I'll pick out some of the dead things and then I will let this dry inside, and then and then I'll just chop this up and put it on the shelf. I'd love to get your thoughts and comments. If you wouldn't mind dropping a comment down below, would you be interested in seeing more behind the scenes of my coffee shop and apothecary? I'm also thinking about taking questions and answering them in kind of a AMA format, video format. So if you'd be interested in that, just drop a comment down below. You can see the sweet potatoes are wilted because it's very hot out here. All right, I'm going to work on this compost pile a little bit. So this is a pile of compost that I actually purchased, but it's kind of tired and it's become weedy. So I'm going to revive it. And what I've been doing is digging it up, turning it over, and putting bags of coffee grounds in it along with my kitchen scraps. And that's part of the pile that I've already worked on, so I'm just covering it up with palm fronds. But basically, I have these bags. I get these bags, are probably about 5 gallons worth of coffee grounds and espresso grounds. I get 4 to 5 bags every week because I have two coffee shops, and they go to. I have two local gardeners that actually come and pick them up. but sometimes it's just too many and they can't use all of them. So I've decided that I need to start working on my compost pile. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to dig this up and then put the coffee grounds in there and cover it back up with palm fronds. I was talking about how my background is in architectural design, and it's interwoven with a lifelong love for the natural world. E.O. Wilson calls this biophilia, and this has taken me down a path of studying permaculture and herbalism, and this is really what informs my work now. And this is my primary interest. So I want to start bringing some permaculture concepts kind of back to this YouTube series. I've gotten into this space where I was really trying to narrow down my niche into herbalism. And although I love that and I do want to continue with that, I just feel like I have so much more to show you and offer. And I don't want to follow the YouTube rules anymore. I have been in survival mode almost my entire life. Pretty much my entire life. Yeah, I've been in survival mode. When I say I've been in survival mode, what that means for me is that I've been on the struggle bus for a long time, for most of my life, pretty much. I came from a home of where my parents were divorced. I was a latchkey kid growing up in the 80s. I had to pretty much take care of myself, take care of my sister a lot of the time. And I became a mom at a very young age. And I've been the primary breadwinner in my family my whole life. I've built careers. I have provided for my daughter and for myself. And this has not always been easy. I mean, we've gone through a lot of struggles. I feel like I've finally arrived in this place in my life where maybe maybe everything's just going to be all right. I feel like I've finally arrived in a place in my life where I can let go a little bit. And going to this Rush concert has just got me really excited. It has the thought of going is making me feel like a kid again, and I'm just remembering take it's just going back to when I was 15 and 16 and saw them in 85, 86. I can't even believe I'm saying that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. My husband and I think we're going to have a blast going up to New York for that. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts below, but I think I'm going to start working on some of those behind the scene videos of the coffee shop and building my apothecary. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.